I babysat their kids for free for 6 months while looking for work. One morning, I found a sheriff's notice on my door. They'd filed a restraining order. "We don't want poor around our children," she told me. I disappeared for a while. Then I showed up with. I was 33, broke, and trying to stay afloat in Escondido, California. I had been living in a small duplex for almost 4 years. Rent was high, even for what it was: peeling walls, creaky floors, no central air. But it was all I could afford after losing my job at a shipping warehouse. They cut half the staff during a slow season, and I didn't make the cut. I had no degree. Just 10 years of labor jobs and a resume full of gaps. So I picked up work where I could: dog walking, organizing closets, babysitting. Nothing official. Cash under the table. I kept saying I was just in a rough patch. That things would turn around. But deep down, I was scared. That's when I met Rick and Lila. They lived across the street in this big, fancy white house. Stone porch, palm tree in the yard, a 2-car garage that held an SUV and a Tesla. Rick worked in wealth management. Lila was a stay-at-home mom who wore matching workout sets and was always holding a smoothie. It started small. One afternoon, Lila waved me over while I was taking out the trash. Said her sitter had flaked and asked if I could watch her kids, Maddie and Jude, for just a couple hours. I said sure. I didn't have anything else going on. The next day, she asked again. Then again. Within a couple weeks, it was a regular thing. "I swear we'll pay you soon," she said once, while handing me a half-used candle and a bottle of kombucha. "Rick's in between client bonuses right now." I didn't press. I was unemployed. I figured helping out looked better than doing nothing. I even told myself I liked the kids, and I did. Maddie loved books. Jude liked to build things. It gave me structure. I told myself I was part of something. But months went by. 6, to be exact. I watched their kids 5 days a week, sometimes weekends. I never got paid. Not even a gas card or a hot meal. Just small talk from Lila and cold nods from Rick, who always had this smug look like he was doing me a favor by letting me in his house. Still, I kept showing up. I told myself something would give. Then one Monday morning, everything broke. I stepped outside to get the mail and saw the paper folded under the doormat. Official letterhead. Sheriff's office. At first I thought it was a parking ticket or something. It was a temporary restraining order. Filed by Rick and Lila. It said I had been harassing them, showing up uninvited, behaving erratically. It said they feared for their children's safety. That I was unstable and obsessed. I felt like I was reading something written about someone else. I hadn't gone near their house in over a week. I called. No answer. I walked across the street and knocked. Rick opened the door halfway, stepped outside, and shut it behind him. He didn't let me speak. "We're done," he said. "You need to stop showing up." I was shaking. What did I do? His eyes didn't blink. "We don't want poor around our children." That was it. No explanation. No apology. Not even a fake one. I turned around, walked back home, locked the door, and sat on the edge of my couch for what felt like hours. No tears. No yelling. Just a slow, steady burning inside me. I didn't leave my apartment for 3 days. On the 4th day, I packed my bag and left. I went to Bakersfield and stayed on a couch at my cousin's place. Found a job at a tire shop changing oil and cleaning bays. Saved everything I could. I stopped checking my phone. Stopped talking to old friends. And I thought. Every single day, I thought about what they did. About how easy it was for them to toss me aside. To label me a threat after using me for 6 months. Like I wasn't a person. Like I didn't matter. But I didn't stay gone. 3 months later, I came back. And I didn't come alone. I came back with proof. Not just my word against theirs. While I was staying with my cousin, I remembered something. Lila used to text me constantly, everything from, "Can you come early today?" to "Don't worry, we'll take care of you soon." She once even messaged me, "We'd be lost without you." Seriously, thank you. I had every text saved in the cloud. So I printed it all out. Over 100 screenshots. Dates, times, messages, everything showing that they asked me to come over, that they were the ones inviting me into their home, relying on me. I even had pictures of me with the kids they'd posted on their Facebook page with captions like "Our amazing neighbor who saves us daily." While they were telling the court I was unstable, they were publicly praising me. That's when I realized what this really was. They were scared I might ask for something. They wanted me gone before I could make things uncomfortable. Before I asked to be paid. Before I reminded them I'd been doing full-time childcare work for free. So I went to a legal aid office back in Escondido and asked if I had a case. They looked through my documents and said, "You might." They helped me draft a small claims suit for unpaid labor, nothing big, just what they should have paid a nanny for 6 months of work. And that's when it got interesting. About a week after I filed, I started getting strange calls from unknown numbers. Then a typed letter showed up in my mailbox. No return address. It just said, "Drop the case. You got more than you deserved." 2 days later, someone egged my front door. I hadn't told anyone I was back. Nobody but the court and the legal aid people even knew I'd returned. My name wasn't on my cousin's lease. That night, I saw it. Across the street, Rick was on the driveway with his phone in his hand, pacing. Lila was sitting on the porch steps. She saw me watching and froze. The next morning, a man in a black sedan was parked outside for over an hour. I watched from the living room window. He never got out. Just sat there with the engine running. I wasn't paranoid. I knew exactly what was happening. They thought they could scare me off again. But this time I wasn't going anywhere. I didn't report the threats at first. I wanted to wait. I wanted to collect more. And I did. The next week, another letter showed up. This one was more aggressive. It said, "You think you're smart? We'll make sure you regret this. People like you should know your place." That was the line that stuck with me. People like you. They weren't scared of me. They just hated that I didn't stay in my lane. That I came back and asked to be treated like a person. I brought the letters to the legal aid office. They made copies and told me to file a police report. I did. The officer who took my statement seemed polite, but you could tell he wasn't expecting much to come of it. Still, it created a record. Then, something I hadn't planned happened. The youngest kid, Jude, found me. It was a Saturday morning. I was walking to the corner store when I saw him standing at the edge of their yard, holding a toy truck. Alone. No parents in sight. He saw me and ran over, yelling, "You came back." He wrapped his arms around my legs. I froze. My heart was racing. Lila came tearing out of the house seconds later, screaming, "Jude. Get away from her." She ran up and yanked him back so hard he fell down. He started crying. She scooped him up, turned to me, and hissed, "If you ever talk to my child again, I'll have you arrested." I didn't say a word. I didn't move. I didn't need to. Their neighbor across the street was watering his lawn. He saw the whole thing. And he wasn't the only one. Over the next week, 3 neighbors came up to me separately. Quietly. On the sidewalk, at the gas station, outside the laundromat. They all said variations of the same thing. "I never knew what really happened between you and them, but after that day. I think they're lying. I remember you watching their kids every day. You were always good to them. They've been acting weird since you came back." And then one woman, Denise, from 2 doors down, gave me something I wasn't expecting, a video. Security cam footage. From 6 months earlier. It showed me walking up to Rick and Lila's door at 7:58 a.m., them handing off the kids to me with smiles, Lila waving goodbye. It was dated. Timestamped. Clear as day. I asked Denise why she saved it. She said, "I don't like bullies. That's when I realized I wasn't the only one watching. And I wasn't alone anymore. I brought the footage to the legal aid office. Their paralegal's jaw dropped. "This changes everything," she said. "This is direct evidence. If they try to paint you as dangerous or obsessive in court, this destroys their credibility." We added it to the small claims file, and I requested a full protective hearing to challenge the restraining order. Suddenly, things started shifting. A week before the hearing, Rick tried to settle. Through a lawyer, they offered me a confidential settlement of $5,000, on the condition I drop the case, sign a non-disclosure, and agree to never contact them or speak about the situation again. I didn't even respond. 2 days later, someone broke into my cousin's car. Didn't take anything. Just shattered the window and left an envelope on the passenger seat. Inside was a printed photo of me sitting in the waiting room of the legal aid office. Nothing else. That's when I involved the police again. This time, they took it more seriously. The officer assigned to me reviewed the footage, the letters, and the new photos. He said, "You're being targeted. Keep everything documented. And be careful." Then the real twist came. Lila's sister messaged me. Out of nowhere. I didn't even remember she existed. She wrote, "I heard what happened. I want you to know you're not crazy. Lila and Rick have done this before. Twice. Once in San Diego, once when they lived in Oregon. They find someone in a rough spot, use them, then destroy them. If they get scared they'll talk." I asked her why she was telling me this now. She said, "Because I saw Jude crying after Lila pulled him off you. And I realized what kind of mother she's become." She offered to testify. Now I had messages, video footage, text logs, character witnesses, and a documented pattern of behavior. But I still hadn't decided what to do with it all. Because part of me didn't just want a legal win. Part of me wanted something else. Something that made them feel just a fraction of what they put me through. I didn't take the money, and I didn't drop the case. I wanted the truth to sit there, on record, out loud, where it couldn't be erased or buried under fake smiles. I still don't know if it changed anything for them. They still live across the street. Still wave to people like nothing ever happened. But now, when I see them looking over, I don't feel small anymore. I feel seen. And every time I hear a child laugh from their yard, I wonder if they remember who kept their kids safe when it didn't benefit anyone but them. Because I do. Every damn day.